Battlefield 2042 open beta started today for people who pre-ordered the game or who are EA Play members, and I streamed it early today on this channel for about 3 hours, and then I played it for a couple more hours afterwards, just so I could play the game a bit more, off stream basically, so I could focus on playing it instead of the game and chat. And well, I guess you can see from the title, I've come to the conclusion that Battlefield 2042 is one of the most disappointing shooters, or probably the most disappointing shooter I've played this year. And for me, it's pretty much put the final nail in the coffin for the Battlefield franchise. That's for me, that is. So I want to discuss my thoughts on the beta, the problems with the beta, the problems with the game, which has pretty much given me this conclusion of the game. And I have put through a refund request through Steam for Battlefield because I ain't going near this again. I've had enough of Battlefield already, and I was really looking forward to Hazard Zone. There's still no official information yet on what Hazard Zone actually is, and the game's coming out in about a month. So I think Hazard Zone is going to be delayed anyway to like Q1, Q2 next year. But because of how the game plays, I ain't touching Hazard Zone at all. So let's go through some of the bugs of the beta. And generally for betas, you do expect bugs because it's in quotation marks, beta. But really for games like Battlefield and Call of Duty, it's kind of more like a demo. There's going to be no major things fixed from this beta. There never is. But the bugs I've come across in the beta, and some of them are so basic, and it's pretty shocking that they're actually in the beta, which makes me think that the full release version of the game is still going to be buggy and a mess, pretty much. So the first one is the map doesn't work. The map in a Battlefield game just doesn't work. You press M to open the map, and that is the key for the map, and nothing happens. So you can't really see what's really going on at a quick glance in the game, and that's pretty shocking that something so basic, so simple as the map doesn't work. Another thing is sometimes your attachments that you've set for your weapon will just reset every single time you die. So you need to keep setting those attachments, and it's incredibly annoying. It seems to only happen with certain weapons, but you want to play with those weapons, you want to try those weapons, but then this new feature, which is admittedly a really nice feature to be able to change attachments on the fly, just broken. And it's I wouldn't say it's like a flagship feature for the new Battlefield, but it is a new feature and it's broken already. I've seen multiple floating players around. They're like a little Jesus floating in the air or zooming across the sky. No idea what's going on there. I've seen people float across the ground going at really fast speed, almost like they're using a speed cheat, and then just carry on as normal, and those are actual players, so I've got no idea what's happening there. And as is the case for, well, Call of Duty and Battlefield games, there's always terrible spawns. The amount of times I've seen players spawn in front of me, I've had players spawn behind me, I've seen the AI bots just spawn around me as well, in clumps, like inside each other. It's another thing they need to fix. It's a problem with every game they make, and they still can't get it right. There's also issues with the comma rows, where you can usually bring up the comma rows. There's a key for it. I think default is Q. So you can request medkit, request ammo, request orders. Doesn't work at all. It also acts as like a ping system, like in Battle Royales or in Hell Let Loose. But to ping someone, you need to double tap that comma rows button, which is a bit rubbish, really. Also, ammo boxes, med kits, they don't show up on the minimap anywhere, which would make sense for them to show up on the minimap because you need to know if there's one near you. And because of the previously mentioned comma rows bug, I'm going to call it a bug, you can't request for a med kit. You can't request for more ammo. Come on. I've also seen the HUD glitch out, mainly where the center dot of the crosshair just sort of stretches out to like the bottom left corner of the screen. No idea what's going on there. It's stupid. It's a basic thing with the HUD glitching out. And talking of the HUD, none of the HUD settings for me actually work in the menu. You can't change the scale of the HUD, but there are settings in there to change the transparency or the opacity of the HUD, but none of them work. You can turn the HUD on or off, but you need certain elements of the HUD in Battlefield. And talking of the HUD, it is a mess. There's so much just mess of a HUD on your screen pretty much at all times. They need to put in a scale setting so you can just make it smaller or have a fully customizable HUD. I think every game should move forward to having more of the HUD customizable. One thing I really hate about the HUD is when you lose full control or gain full control of a sector where you capture, say, Alpha 1 and Alpha 2, you get that green or red bar just suddenly appear at the top of the screen. While it only takes up a small part of your screen, it feels terrible. Like the first few times it was happening, I was instinctively ducking like something was coming at me to take my head off. I haven't seen anyone who thinks that HUD element at the top is a good idea. It does look so bad. Another issue I have with the game, which I haven't seen anyone talk about yet, is the specialists. Now, I don't know what the actual lore is with these specialists, because they're called like non-pats or something, but these specialists are on both sides that are fighting against each other. And both of these sides, it's America and Russia. And then you have these non-pats, so I'm guessing they're like mercenaries fighting against each other. So you just see constant clones of your sort of unique hero guy running around on the other team. So if you wanted to play with less of a HUD, there is absolutely zero way to tell friend from foe, because everyone looks the same. Who thought that was a good idea? If you look at Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I haven't played a Call of Duty since the recent Modern Warfare, you have different factions and they have different people in those factions, so you don't get this issue in Call of Duty. Call of Duty is doing something better than Battlefield. What's going on? It feels extremely lazy from Battlefield, or from DICE, I'd say, or EA, whoever's making this decision. You could argue that maybe they're making it this way so they can sell you skins for these characters, but with Call of Duty they do that as well, and they have multiple people, unique people per faction, so there's no reason why they're doing this. It's stupid. It is honestly stupid. Now, the main reason that I hate Battlefield 2042 is the gunplay. The gunplay is shocking. The recoil is so inconsistent. When shooting an assault rifle, of course, the gun recoils upwards as you expect it to be, but if you look closely, you can see bullets hitting below where you were aiming. So, say if you shot at a dot on the wall as your recoil was going up, the bullet you shot when you was aiming at that point would hit below it. Tell me why that makes sense. Your bullet should be hitting the point where you were aiming as your recoil was going up, not below where you were aiming or off to the side. And the horizontal recoil, so the side to side recoil, is so completely random. I've been spraying people from close range and my bullets are just going either side of them, even though I'm aiming at their chest. It feels just so inconsistent, which leads me to the damage and the damage drop off. The damage drop off for the weapons must be insanely high. Sometimes at close range you can take someone out with a quick burst, but then a little bit farther or a little bit further away, you need multiple headshots and multiple body shots to take someone out. It doesn't make any sense. I've had an assault rifle, body shot, headshot, body shot, and they're dead. I would at least expect like head, body, and they're down. That's it. The damage drop off of how weaker the bullet must get over range must be so high. It's crazy. And the bullet velocity, I've seen people in streamers' chats saying that when people run, they look like Usain Bolt. And you know what? Usain Bolt could outrun these bullets. The bullet velocity is really slow. The amount you have to compensate for aiming ahead from someone that's running is insane. It's huge, really. when you think you're shooting a bullet which can travel hundreds of meters a second. I know this game is meant to be more casual, but it doesn't explain for slow bullets and shit gunplay. The bullet drop off as well. Generally guns like assault rifles I believe are zeroed for 100 meters, so if you're aiming at something that's 100 meters away, it should hit directly where you're aiming. But it doesn't in Battlefield. It probably will, if you're aiming at someone in the chest at 100 meters away, you'll probably hit them in the kneecap or something. The bullet drop off is too much. It is too much. Now there's AI bots in the game. There's AI bots in Battlefield. Some people say these AI are meant to take places of empty players in the server, but it feels like that they just spawn in when you're going to like an objective that has no active players defending it. And these AI are stupid. They are just stupid. I've seen them drive vehicles, which I will say is a nice touch to see the AI driving vehicles. But they will drive these vehicles into a ditch and get stuck. And that vehicle will have like 4 AI in there. So 2 of them are passengers, and they'll just stay there, waiting to die. The AI need to be fixed. And it feels like the AI has less health than the players, which makes the damage like inconsistency when it comes to the damage drop off. It makes it feel worse than it is, because you'll shoot someone, you may have not realized it was an AI, so you killed them really quickly. You shoot someone else next to them, the same amount of bullets, the same amount of hits, and they're not dead. And you're just like, what's going on? So I've got to say the gunplay, I didn't think it'll be as bad as it is coming from a major title like this. Recently I've played World War III, which a couple of years ago was touted as the Battlefield killer against Battlefield 5. I've played the veteran alpha test, and the gunplay for World War III is vastly superior to Battlefield 2042. For a few reasons. One, the guns do more damage, so it actually feels like you're holding something which can, actually do something worthy. The bullets actually go where your gun is showing like the recoil, so it doesn't just veer off randomly to the side or below where you're aiming. So handling the guns feels a lot more consistent and just a lot better. There's a lot more feedback as well. I would have never thought that World War III would have better gunplay than Battlefield 2042, but it does. I know a lot of people are going to disagree on my opinions on this, and yeah, that's completely fine. Yeah, I've been watching my friend Mono play Battlefield and he's loving it, and I'm hating it, So let me know what you think of Battlefield down below. My plan with Battlefield was to pretty much stream and make loads of videos from this beta test, but it ain't gonna happen. And like I said earlier, or I think I said earlier, Hazard Zone was gonna be a potential big thing for this channel. That ain't happening anymore. So after this video, I ain't gonna do any more Battlefield stuff. I'm done. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Give it a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, and thank you for watching.